What's up, fam? It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another video. In this episode of Hood Tales, I'll be taking it to Houston, Texas, to discuss the incredibly sad story of L'Oreal Falk, whose life was taken after her friend thought she was being flirtatious with her boyfriend. But before we get into this video, welcome if you're new here to our channel, and welcome back to all of our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so and join the Tony 2 times family. Go ahead and click that notification bell to get notified every time we upload. And if you're rocking with the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Feel free to share this video. Make sure you watch until the end to hear the full story. Everything in this video is alleged. Alright, let's jump right into it. We have discussed the dangers of toxic friendships on this channel before. Real friends and meaningful friendships are so hard to find. I would say, especially nowadays, but if you think about it, toxic relationships or friendships have been around since the beginning of human existence on this earth, throughout many ancient civilizations, all the way to modern times. I used to question what drives someone to have such evil intentions and commit devious deeds towards a person they call their friend. Many would answer that question with the words envy, jealousy, and hate. But could it be something deeper in addition to those three things? I've learned to never underestimate what any person may be capable of doing, no matter how much they appear to be your friend. On June 27, 2023, police in Houston, Texas, responded to a report of a shooting at the Adele and Burr Piper Family Place apartments in Northwest Houston at 5:50 p.m. When officers arrived at the apartment where the shooting occurred, they knocked on the door. A little girl answered and said that her mother was sleeping on the couch under a green blanket. Responding officers uncovered the woman and saw that she was not asleep, but had a gunshot wound to the head and was no longer alive. The woman was identified as 29-year-old L'Oreal Falk. Thankfully, L'Oreal's 7-year-old daughter, who answered the door, was not hurt. L'Oreal was born on December 16, 1993. She's a native of Lafayette, Louisiana. L'Oreal was beautiful and a doting mother of one. It's not clear how long she and her daughter had been in Houston. The apartment complex where L'Oreal was living was operated by an organization called the Women's Home. The complex is known as the Family Place and is described as permanent supportive housing for homeless and low-income families. A neighbor of L'Oreal said that type of crime is rare in the complex. The building also had security cameras which could lead investigators to finding the perpetrator. A couple of weeks after the slaying, on July 13th, police announced that they were looking for a suspect, describing him as a black male in his 20s or early 30s with a thin build and about 6 feet tall. The relationship between L'Oreal and the suspect was unknown. Houston PD released photos of who they believe the suspect was and was wanted in connection to L'Oreal's slaying. 2 days later, on July 15th, Houston police announced that a woman, 25-year-old Lakiri Tolliver, was arrested and charged with tampering and fabricating physical evidence. Lakiri was allegedly present when L'Oreal was slain. Charging documents stated that Lakiri allegedly took a cell phone that would have been classified as evidence. They were also still looking for the male suspect. The unknown male suspect was eventually interviewed by police, and he was cleared as a suspect, with no charges being filed against him. Then just recently, after weeks of investigation into who and why L'Oreal was slain, Lakiri Tolliver was charged with slaying L'Oreal, along with burglary, in addition to the tampering with evidence charge. Lakiri and L'Oreal were friends. Lakiri and a male friend were hanging out at L'Oreal's on June 26th, the night before the slaying. A witness in the home, sleeping next to L'Oreal, told police that Lakiri and L'Oreal fought over a robbery and Lakiri's boyfriend the night before, but said he didn't pay much attention. He says they all fell asleep on the couch, woke up the next morning, and he and L'Oreal got McDonald's and then went back to sleep on the couch. He told investigators he was a heavy sleeper and did not hear a gunshot. Investigators say at around 10:30 a.m. on June 27th, Lakiri is seen on surveillance video inside the home, going through L'Oreal's phone and then deactivating her camera. A second camera facing the front door recorded the audio of a single shot fired and the sound of a shell casing dropping moments after that. Court records state that a few minutes later, the man in the home is heard after being woken up by Lakiri. Witnesses told police that Lakiri told them she slayed L'Oreal because she thought L'Oreal was sneaking behind her back with her boyfriend, flirting with him. When police interviewed L'Oreal's daughter, the little girl told them she had been sleeping in her mother's room when Lakiri woke her up in the morning and told her to go to her room to sleep. She said Lakiri told her her mother was sleeping and she saw Lakiri place the green blanket over her mother. The camera also captured that audio. Lakiri then left the girl alone with her mom's body. Lakiri is also accused of stealing L'Oreal's cell phone and pretending to be her. Court documents say Lakiri also talked to L'Oreal's family on Instagram and claimed a man had taken L'Oreal's life. She claimed the man had a hit out on L'Oreal. Lakiri gave several different versions of what happened that night in L'Oreal's apartment, which raised her family's suspicions. Cameras in the apartment complex show Lakiri and the man leaving the apartment carrying several bags. Reports say the video also show the pair leaving and returning to the apartment several times, each time leaving with different items, like L'Oreal's Gucci and Louis Vuitton bags, according to the court documents. Lakiri then called 911 shortly before 6 p.m. and hung up and shut the phone off so dispatchers couldn't get a hold of her. That wasn't the last time Lakiri returned to L'Oreal's apartment. On July 11th, just a few days before she was first arrested, she allegedly broke into L'Oreal's apartment through a window. She allegedly took so many items that time that she wasn't strong enough to carry the basket. She had to drag it all the way to the parking lot. In an interview with police, she initially denied she was at the apartment on the day of L'Oreal's slaying, but changed her story when she was confronted with the video evidence. She claimed it was the man in the apartment with them that did it, but the video from the apartment shows he was sleeping at the time the trigger was pulled. LaCurie has been locked up since her arrest on July 14th. She is currently being held without bond. LaCurie Tolliver is innocent until proven guilty. May L'Oreal Falk continue to rest in peace. My deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of L'Oreal. In addition to being a loving mother, daughter, sister, and niece, in her obituary, it states that L'Oreal was also a wife, and she leaves behind her husband. All of her family seems to be from and resides in Lafayette, Louisiana. Again, I send my deepest condolences and well wishes during this difficult time. I can't imagine the toll this has taken on the family and the roller coaster of emotions they have had to endure over these past few months. L'Oreal was slain in cold blood while her child slept in the other room. I hope that her daughter can one day heal and overcome this traumatic experience. The whole situation behind L'Oreal's slaying is truly unbelievable. If LaCurie really believed L'Oreal was going behind her back like that, why not just end the friendship and walk away? Why take a mother away from her child over a man? From LaCurie's social media, it appears that she is also a mother. If convicted, she will be leaving her children behind for possibly the rest of her life. All over some dude she doesn't have access to now anyway. The alleged lies to cover up what she may have allegedly done speaks volumes of how far she was willing to go. She was even willing to throw the guy under the bus. And the alleged stealing part just adds fuel to the fire. Was there something more going on? Because the so-called witness mentioned something about them arguing about a robbery. And then LaCurie ends up stealing from L'Oreal after the slaying, allegedly. So I don't know. This story is just so crazy. Either way, I hope L'Oreal gets justice. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below. Alright fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you all so much for watching and making it to the end. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.